always thought I was lucky. My name is Lena, and for most of my childhood, life was peaceful. My parents, Elena and Marcus, were what everyone called the ideal couple. They smiled at each other during dinner, held hands in church, and told their friends they built a home on love. Patience and hard work. My father, Marcus, was strong not just in the way he carried himself, but in how he held the world together. He worked long hours as a contractor, fixing other people's houses while keeping ours spotless. My mom, Elena, was the heart of the family. Warm, patient, always making sure everyone felt loved. Growing up, I was closest to Dad. We did everything together, built wooden birdhouses, fixed leaky taps, and watched the stars from the backyard when I couldn't sleep. But as I got older, something between my parents began to shift. A subtle change, like an invisible crack running through the walls of our home. It started with silence. Mom would sit by the window longer than usual, sipping her tea, staring at nothing. Dad began staying later at work, sometimes not coming home until midnight. When he did, their conversations were short, polite, but distant. I didn't understand what was happening. Then came the day. Everything started to unravel. It was a quiet Sunday afternoon. Mom had gone to visit her friend in the next town, leaving Dad and me at home. But that day, Dad seemed different, distracted, restless. He paced the living room, checked his phone, sighed. When I asked what was wrong, he forced a smile. "Nothing, sweetheart. Just work stress." We sat down to watch a movie, but he wasn't really watching. Halfway through, he went to the garage. After a few minutes, curiosity pulled me to follow. When I peeked in, I saw him holding an old box I'd never seen before. Inside were letters, photographs, and a small gold necklace. When he noticed me, his face went pale. "Lena, you shouldn't be here," he said softly. Something about his voice made my heart race. Not out of fear, confusion. He closed the lid. "It's not what it looks like. I promise." But doubt had already taken root. From that day, things changed. Dad tried to act normal, but I couldn't shake the image of that box. Mom, too, became more withdrawn. One evening, she quietly asked, "Lena, has your father said anything strange lately?" Her question shocked me. Then came the stormy night that changed everything. Rain hammered the windows while Mom and Dad argued in the kitchen. Their voices were low but tense. I heard my name more than once. Finally, I pushed open the door. "What's going on?" Mom looked at Dad. "Tell her." He took a deep breath, eyes trembling. "Lena, you're not biologically my daughter." The world tilted. He explained that years ago, before I was born, my mother had been in a difficult situation, and another man was involved. Marcus chose to raise me as his own, never wanting me to feel unloved. Mom's eyes were full of tears. "We thought keeping it a secret would protect you, but instead it built walls between us." For days, I stayed locked in my room. Every memory replayed in my mind. Every hug, every "I love you," wondering if it had been a lie. But then I remembered the nights Dad stayed up helping me study. The pride in his eyes when I achieved something. The way he held me when I cried. Those moments weren't fake. They were real, more real than blood. One morning I found Dad sitting on the porch with that wooden box. He looked older, tired. "I never wanted to hurt you," he said. "I just didn't know how to tell you." I sat beside him. "You didn't lose me," I whispered. "You raised me. You're my father, no matter what blood says." He smiled softly and handed me the necklace. "It belonged to your real father." but I think it's time it belongs to you. I took it not to remember a man I never knew, but because it was part of my story. A story I was finally ready to own. It took months for us to heal. But we did. Mom and Dad went to counseling. I learned to forgive not because they were perfect, but because they were human, and slowly, our home felt warm again. Looking back now, I understand that families aren't built only by blood. They're built by love, effort, and forgiveness. Secrets might protect us for a while, but eventually, they corrode the bonds we hold dear. My parents' secret didn't destroy me. It made me stronger.